All right, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So really busy day for me. So finally excited to, after having cleaned up, gotten everything ready, excited to react to this week's Shonen Jump chapters. So fortunately, this week I wasn't spoiled on anything for any of the series I follow or react to. So I'm going into this pretty much blind. I think I've seen a few reactions and takes from some friends and mutuals on Twitter as I was skimming earlier, but nothing major or spoilery. The uh, kind of told me anything that was going on in the chapter, so we should be good in that regard. A few quick housekeeping items before we dive into it. So today for Shonen Jump, oh, looks like my finger is bleeding again. Alright, then I have some blood on my finger. I have no idea where it came from. Uh, yeah, but as I was saying, so a few quick housekeeping items. First of all, so I'll be reacting to Haikyuu and One Piece as normal today, and I'll probably also react to Promised Neverland chapter as well. I kind of fell off on that during the latest demon stuff because it just wasn't. Yeah, it just was. I just wasn't feeling it lately with Promised Neverland, but I'm hearing that the fandom is a little bit divisive on the recent chapter. So I figured I'll react to that and kind of give my thoughts on what's happening so far on that. So today Haikyuu, One Piece, and Promised Neverland. I uploaded my Battle Angel Alita video read through yesterday. So I'm going to do my best to do another one for tonight, along with Vinland Saga dropping as well. If I don't get around to it tonight, at least Vinland Saga will probably be dropped tomorrow, and I'll try to prioritize Alita because that is a more popular video on my channel. Apart from that, my good friend, the Black Manga Critic, just did a stream today where he's announced that he's doing two new readathons, one for Basara, one for Vinland Saga. Both the Vinland Saga is a phenomenal series, so I'm looking forward to seeing his reactions on that. And Basara, I don't know anything about, but I've heard a lot of good things, and so I'm excited to see his reaction to that. And I've added that to one of my future read-throughs as well. So go check him out. He's at the Manga Scholar on Twitter and the Black Manga Critic on YouTube. Just absolutely great guy. Absolutely recommend you go follow him and give him some support. But without further ado, let's dive into Haikyuu chapter 368. What will they become? So you see again that slow shot of Tanaka as he dived for the ball, and you see it just hitting the court and bouncing off. You see the final score reading Karasuno 23, Kamomedai 25, and that means Kamomedai's won the match after 3 rounds. And you see set count 2 Kamomedai, 1 Karasuno, with them having 22, 22, 25. You see winner Kamomedai, and you see the audience just cheering and clapping as this intense match is finally over. And you see Daiichi just looking up at the sky as he flops onto his back, just absolutely basted in sweat from the intensity of this match. You can just see the steam coming off of him from all the energy he's been expending and burning. Just the artwork in this is so good. Oh, and then you see him as he's looking up at the rafters, he slowly gets back onto his knees and he unsteadily kind of gets up slowly as he's trying to find his balance. And you see Karasuno High School, you see Asahi, Sugawara, and Daiichi coming together to shake hands. And then you see the National Spring Volleyball Tournament, quarter-final round, Karasuno High School, eliminated. And you see them all lining up on the court. And you see, thank you for the game as they bow to Karasuno and Kamomedai bow to each other. And you see Hinata giving the tablet back to Yaichi. And you see him just, head bent over, kind of just taking it all in, as the impact finally hits him. And the next panel, you see, the players going up to the net, shaking each other's hands. You see the coaches doing that on the side as well. And you see the audience still just cheering and clapping. man. And on the side, you just see Daiichi and the rest, just bowing to the court. As this is their third year, this is the last time that they'll be able to see this site from where they are now. And you see Tanaka, you see, oh God, you see Nishinoya, you see all the rest of them watching as this. You see Kageyama bowing as well. And then you see Kuro and Bakudo coming onto the court to congratulate them. And Kuro going, "Good game, guys." And you see Bakudo just hugging, giving all the players a giant big hug, as he is wont to do. Then you see the two twins from the Inarizaki watching. They're going, "If you're going to say that the results are everything, I would apologize in advance. I will not remember their names at all. It's been way too long since I've revisited this match. So I'm just going to call them the light hair and dark haired one." So you see the light hair one going, "If you're going to say that results are everything, then I guess that means all the third years here who lose are, well, nothing, right? And me, I'm not playing volleyball no more after high school, so..." The other one's like, "Am I going to evaporate then? Vanish into thin air? Like poof?" And he's like, "I didn't mean it that way." Well, I see his twins talking to one of their seniors as they're noticing this. And the senior goes, "If you're here just to compete, then I guess there's nothing wrong with saying results are everything. And maybe playing a good game is ultimately meaningless if you don't win. Sweeping the floors, catching a stray ball, doing a billion squats, then eating a good solid fill-in meal afterwards. That's how we grow and build our bodies. Even if I didn't get the win..." "I did build a whole lot of muscle. The world can throw anything at me it wants now. I ain't afraid." Twins like, "The world can throw anything it wants at me. I'll still be afraid of Kira-san." Oh, that's Kira. And you see Daiichi from below going, "Takanori-san, is Sanada?" And one of the shopkeepers like, "He's at the hospital right now. Once he's done there, he'll go straight back to the hotel." And he's like, "Oh, thank you." And you see Saiko just watching, looking a little bit disappointed with the results. And you see Tenma noticing her expression, and he goes, "He'll be fine." And he's like, "Well, I can't say one way or another about his health. But for now at least, I'm sure that Hinata-kun hasn't given up. Not in the least." Oh, man. And then you have the panel of him just looking out over the empty court, completely, looking all shiny and new, and kind of just reminiscing about probably his times there. And Seiko's just like, "If Shoyo hadn't ever seen you on TV that day, he never would have chosen to bike over a mountain to go to Karasuno, and he never would have met Tobio." And Tenma's like, "I guess I might have made a monster then, huh?" He's like, "I kind of like that." And you see the audience chattering later on going, "Was Karasuno's number 10 injured?" He's like, "I hear it was a nasty fever." "What? Really? That sucks, the poor guy." "Yeah, poor him for getting sick, and poor Karasuno for losing him right then." You see Sei, for instance. Oh no, so you see the Itachi Maya team, the one from the national camp, going, "Say, for instance, a tiny meteorite suddenly fell from the sky right now. Say that meteorite bonked somebody on the head, just be nice to the guy and help as much as you can. Nothing else is necessary. If you're going to stand around talking loudly to each other about how you pity him, then I feel even sorrier for him. Nothing sucks worse than people telling you, 'You poor thing.'" Oh, man. And you see the captain of the Tachimaya Volleyball Club being helped off to the side. His leg is in a cast. And you have Tsukasa Izuna, Tachiyama Institute Volleyball captain. And you see Court C boys quarterfinal. Inubushi Higashi versus Itachi Maya. Oh, and so Itachi Maya got eliminated as well. So it looks like Inubushi won 20. So Tachimaya took the first set, 25 to 22. Then Inubushi took it 25 to 20, and then 29 to 27. And you hear from the side, "Wow, I can't believe it. Tachimaya lost. None of this year's top 3 hitters made it past the quarterfinals." And you see Bokuto just looking grim, going, "Oh goodness, the Tachimaya lost? What a pity for Sakusa." And you see the Gautier coach from earlier going, "Yes, I would have loved to see more of his play. But you know, the hundreds of players participating in this tournament, there's one experience they all share. That's losing. No one makes it this far without tasting defeat. But even for the one lucky team that escapes that bitter experience this time and wins this tournament, they'll lose to another better team eventually. No matter how high you climb," yes, there is always a better team. "It's only those brave enough, those bold enough, to follow the difficult, demanding path of competition, who have the right to reap the wealth of experience and memories it can bring. For today, you happen to be defeated," and you see, screenshot panels of Daiichi Sugawara Asahi, you see Nekoma, you see Itachimaya, you see Inarizaki, you see Date Tech, you see, God, what is it? God, why can I not remember Ushijima's team? They sure Torizawa, you see Fukurodani, and you see Blue Castle, you see Karasuno. Oh, just Furudate-san's artwork is always just phenomenal, and I love these panels where they do screenshots of all the teams, and you just get a glimpse of what's happening with them in that moment, and just oh man, and you see Hinata heading out of the Hospital Elysium, and you just see it go ending with, "But what will you become tomorrow?" All right, man, this Haikyuu is just the best. I cannot praise this series enough for what it does. And there wasn't that much dialogue this chapter, but oh boy, if I had to sum up this chapter in kind of one word, it really is the idea, of it's not the journey, it's the destination, what you do, and all the experiences and memories and friendships and everything you build on the way to the top. And I love, this is a callback to way back, the very start of the series, in the early 30s or 40s, when you see, the quote unquote losers who never managed to make it past, the amateur ranks almost. You see the ones where they, have that one chapter where, they had the whole spiel about how, even if no one remembers us, and no one remembers what contribution we made to volleyball, we were still here, we still played, and we still loved the sport. And I love that you see that with Kita at the beginning as well, where he's ragging on the twins for saying that, unless you make it to the big time, or unless you, make something of yourself in a sport, what's the point of giving your all to something like this if you don't know for sure that you will come out on top? And he makes the offhand jokey remark about how, I've built a lot of muscle, I'm not afraid of the world now. But I really appreciate the fact that Furudate-san hammers home the idea that it doesn't matter, if you win or lose. It's the lessons you take away from it. It's the memories you take away from it. It's the friendships you build that you take away from it that really will matter in the longer term. And these will help you, develop and change and grow into the person you are and the person you become. And ending it with, the acknowledgement that, defeat isn't the end. For at least for some of them, defeat isn't the end, and there's always a new tomorrow. Man, I was always kind of mixed on the idea of whether Haikyuu is going to end after Nationals, because like part of me honestly felt like it would be ideal to kind of end after Nationals, end the story where it was. And it definitely would have been, again, the thing I've been kind of repeatedly going on about, like, the journey would have been more than worth it if Furudate-san decided to stop right here. And, that was where the series kind of ended after we deal with the fallout from all of this. But last two chapters, I kind of feel like, no, we're gonna get to second year. We're gonna see, the third years moving on. We're gonna see the second years growing into their new roles, and we're gonna see a new batch of students come in. And I think like seeing Itachi Maya having lost, I think is what cemented it for me. Where I'm like, we can't end this without Karasuna having a rematch with them at some point. So I am so excited to see where the series goes from here. Just super pumped. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Few quick notes before I wrap up here. So the Haikyuu pod is going to be recording, I think, the week after next. We're going to be recording the podcast. So I think I messed up last week on the recording, and I had a brain fart and accidentally promoted MHA Pod, which is still a good podcast who does My Hero Academia. So if you're a fan of that series, I highly encourage following those two ladies. Again, their thoughts on it. Yeah, I think the Haikyuu podcast is viewed from the top on Twitter, and we're at Haikyuu Pod. So give us a listen, a couple of weeks from now, where we go over the last three chapters and kind of just gush about, how phenomenal this series is and kind of our thoughts on where we think it's going to go from here. Like I said, my read through, I am at chapter 60 now. I think was the last one I finished, so I'm slowly making my way through the series from the beginning. So like before, I will link my read through thread in the comments below for anyone that's kind of interested in seeing my thoughts as I revisit the series. This week for sure, I've been super slammed the last few weeks, but this week for sure it should be, I think, a little bit less busy for me. So I'm going to try to catch up back to Nationals on my speed read. Kind of refamiliarize myself with the teams and the names of all the characters and everything in there. So hopefully next week's video I should have a little bit better time recognizing faces and names and everything like that. And yeah, so until next time, looking forward to where Furudate-san takes us. This is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.